excited to talk to you today about food in Italy. Italy is one of my favorite places in the entire world to travel, and this video was going to actually just be kind of top tips for your first time in Italy. I got through a couple and realized there's way too much about food, too many tips and tricks, and just too much to know. So I went ahead, did this video. So when we were in Italy last, we visited Milan, Venice, Florence in the Tuscany region, and Rome, and a couple, day trips within that. We did Pisa and Pompeii and stuff as well. So this is not for all of Italy. This is just from my experience. Everybody's going to have a little bit different experience, but if you have questions or comments, I would love to hear them. If you have a different opinion, please comment below. I'd love to hear more. So, food in Italy. Okay. This is all coming from an American. Different parts of the world have very different relationships with food. So for Italy, if you are going to any part of Italy, much like me, you're probably really excited about experiencing the local cuisine, experiencing the food and the pizza and gelato. But there's a lot of things to kind of keep in mind before you go. First of which, our number one, is we're gonna talk about breakfast in Italy. Specifically, expectations on breakfast in Italy. I did not know this before we went. I love my breakfast. I love my eggs and bacon and sausage and hash browns. That's hard to find in Italy, especially the more touristy areas. You'll sometimes get it where they cater to Americans or English, but overall speaking, their breakfast is a pastry, a sweet bread, pastry, maybe a croissant, and a coffee. And I'll talk about their coffee culture in a moment, but most of the time that coffee is going to be a quick little shot of espresso and a sweet pastry. Now, what I will do for you guys, believe me, if you love your breakfast, you will appreciate this later. I'll go ahead and link the names to some of the restaurants in the description below where I was able to find what they would call an English breakfast or American breakfast. I found two great little places in Rome where they had fantastic English breakfast, and then I found one great little place kind of right in the heart of Florence that really was my opportunity to enjoy my breakfast while we were over there. Now, number two is that coffee culture I mentioned. If you're somebody who loves your extra caramel super frappa macchiato, whatever from Starbucks, you might struggle while you're in Italy. Now, I'm not saying they don't have those. They have Starbucks in Italy. If that's really what you want, they do have Starbuckses kind of in the main touristy areas. I don't recommend going to them though, because I really recommend enjoying the way locals do things. For the most part, it's going to be pretty strong coffee. You can get cappuccinos. You can get a shot of espresso, which is, like I said, is what most people do. Also, though, a part of that coffee culture is a lot of times in the morning, you'll see people kind of go up to a cafe and a cafe bar and just order a shot of espresso and down it and be on their way to work or whatever. And that's definitely part of the normal there. They enjoy their strong coffee. They enjoy their black coffee. You can definitely find other things, but that's kind of the normal. Now, they do also have what we would consider lattes. Keep in mind, those are mostly to be had before noon. You'll get some funny looks and you might not be able to get it after noon. And also remember to ask for a cafe with latte, because latte in Italian is milk. So if you just ask for a latte, don't be surprised if you just get a glass of milk with no coffee. So heads up for that. Number three, we are gonna talk about taking your time. So here in America, a lot of people are all about the fast food. We are a very fast food kind of culture here. Not so much in Italy. they definitely really cherish the experience of going out and having a meal. It is definitely an experience for the locals there. It's not surprising to go out to dinner and have it take 2 or 3 or even 4 hours. They do tend to eat pretty late in the evening there, or what I would consider pretty late. Don't be surprised if you're talking to a local and they want to go out to dinner at 9 o'clock at night and you don't get home till midnight. That's not surprising. So you can, get places kind of in and out and pretty quick, but maybe, for lunch, go ahead and do that. But for dinner, I mean, if you're gonna go out for dinner and you're in Italy, take your time, enjoy the experience, enjoy your food, enjoy the glass of wine, enjoy the scenery, really take it in and allow it to be an experience for you. You're there anyways, you might as well. All right, number 4. 4 is kind of a double for you. Heads up, they do charge for bread and they do charge for water at most places. I know this is kind of like, oh, Perry, you're just being cheap. Well, okay, I'm cheap then. But if you're doing a budget trip to Italy, it is important to know those things. With the bread, they'll usually bring a basket of bread out before you even order, like you could expect, at most places, most restaurants here in America. But here in America, generally it's free. In Italy, it's not going to be free. Just a heads up, it's important to know. Again, the water, it's usually going to be bottled water. That's typically why you pay for it. Just, that's your 4th tip. Take it for what it is. Number 5, the local cuisine. Okay, you guys, I talked about taking your time and enjoying that local cuisine, but what do I mean by just local cuisine? So, say you're staying around the Trevi Fountain or you go and visit the Trevi Fountain. There's tons of restaurants around there. You're hungry. Okay, cool. But if you want a little bit more of the local experience, if you want a little bit more of the Italian experience, go 3 or 4 blocks down the road. Get off the beaten path just a little bit. Not only are you typically going to find better, more authentic food, but it's going to be a lot cheaper too. And I'm all about saving some money. So keep that in mind. I'm not knocking those places necessarily, but they do it. I mean, they cater more to tourists. Go somewhere where you can't read the menu. Go somewhere where the menu is completely in Italian. Okay, trust me, it's gonna be better food. Go to that little mom and pop hole in the wall. It's gonna be a whole different experience, and I really encourage you to take advantage of the local cuisine. All right, number 6. Cannot believe I haven't talked about this already. You guys have been waiting for it. Gelato. Yes. So gelato is a big part of the Italian culture as far as dessert goes. Most places are going to have gelato or some kind of gelato. Now, here in America, as we tend to have more ice cream shops on, this and that corner, they have gelato. And it's a shame to even compare it to the ice cream we have in America because the gelato over there is built different, people. It is just built different. So have it, once, twice, 3 times a day. I did. Couple tips on that though. You'll find a lot of gelato kind of stands or whatnot. If the gelato is super bright, if it is mound up, like a hill, it's probably not real gelato. It's probably got a lot of kind of synthetic stuff in it. I would suggest maybe steering more towards the ones that have more natural colors and that are kind of more, flat and they're enclosed. Those are going to be, they're just going to taste better. So trust me on this. Try whatever ones you want. As long as you're eating some gelato when you're there, you're going to walk it off. So you might as well enjoy as much of it as you can, right? Okay, number 7. Okay, number 7, you will probably need to ask for the check. I know, weird thing to talk about. But in America, we have a tipping culture. It's kind of gotten pretty excessive the past few years, but tipping is very much a part of the culture. So we have Our waiters are definitely in the service industry. You really get catered to. They come and check on you here in America. In Italy, not so much. And that's, again, just part of how they do things. Now, with this, it's kind of good because they don't really have the same tipping culture that we have here in America. So most places, you're not going to really be expected to tip. That is because you do not really get that extra service that you get here in America. And what I mean is, most restaurants, you'll find somebody will come and take your order. They will bring you your food. You're probably not going to see them again after that, though, until you flag them down for your check. And again, since it's part of their culture to really, kind of take their time with meals, it makes a little bit more sense. Now, I will admit, especially for lunch, what my husband and I did a couple times when we were in Italy was we actually asked for our check when they brought our food. Most people really didn't mind for that, but that did save us a lot of time. That did save us from having to, flag down the waiter and, wait 20-30 minutes for them to come and bring us our check. So that is kind of a tip or trick. Don't use it all the time. But also, people, do not be surprised if you're sitting and waiting 30-40 minutes or so to get your check. You definitely need to be aware that you're gonna have to ask for it, okay? Keep it in mind. Now, I have a bit of a bonus for you guys. So that was lucky number 7, but my bonus number 8, the local markets. So, pretty much anywhere in Italy, any major city, even the smaller ones, are gonna have local markets. My favorite of which was the one in Florence. It is amazing. You have all this local fresh food and fruits and seafood, and just they're really something to experience. Now, the one that I mentioned in Florence, I also really like because the entire bottom floor is the market, and then the entire second floor is almost like a food court style array of restaurants. So it's, kind of another cool experience. You can go and get like pizza by the weight there, which, was a fun little experience for me. All right, you guys, that's about it for food as far as Italy goes. I do recommend, on the note of food, take a cooking class while you're there. Eat all the pizza that you can. Eat all the pasta that you can. Enjoy it. Again, immerse yourself in the culture, not just kind of Italy overall, but their food culture is something in and of itself. So if you're taking a trip, you're probably excited for the food like me. Enjoy it. Just take it all in when you're there. It's something not to be missed. Don't play it safe. Get adventurous, you guys. I'll go ahead and link some of my favorite restaurant recommendations in the description below. If you guys have any questions or need any other recommendations for food in Italy, you go ahead and leave me a comment. I'll make sure to respond. Otherwise, you guys, go out, have fun, get your travel on, and I'll see you next time.